Everything you need to know in less than 5 minutes. Thresh is one of the highest utility champions in the game and a top tier support in the current meta. Thresh is also highly skill intensive, as you need to know exactly when and how to use his abilities, not to mention you need to land his hook. When you play Thresh, you also need to play his passive minigame and pick up souls from dead enemy units. Collecting these souls is absolutely mandatory, as Thresh does not get any armor per level, but instead you grow your armor in direct proportion to your soul count. Additionally, your abilities scale with the number of souls you have, increasing your damage and utility. Since you need to move rather close to the souls to pick them up from the ground, stacking your passive can be quite risky at times. To avoid telegraphing your movement and potentially run into an enemy ambush, you can also throw down your W to pick up souls. This ability is maxed first by a lot of high elo Thresh players, which not only lowers its cooldown but also increases the shield strength. However, every single one of your basic spells can work on one single skill point due to their enormous utility value. In fact, many players are more comfortable maxing Q first, preferring to have the lower cooldown on Thresh's hook. Your Q is arguably the spell that provides Thresh with the biggest solo carry potential, as it is an unmistakable signal to your teammates to follow up. Thresh's hook has a comparatively long wind-up animation, which gives your opponents plenty of time to react. Consequentially, landing the spell can be difficult at times, but an easy trick you can use to connect it more often is to have Thresh look in one direction but aim your Q in another. Especially in solo queue, this trick works more often than it should. Once you do land a hook, you just reactivate Q to pull yourself towards the target and throw down Thresh's W behind yourself so your teammates can follow up more easily. W is the most unique ability in your kit and can be used both offensively and defensively. The shielding part is rather straightforward, but to enable great pulls for your allies, you must get yourself in position preemptively. Whenever you think a gank might be coming, already start walking towards your tower so you can lantern your ally out in time. If you are out of position as well, your W won't be very useful. Keep in mind that your teammate will always be pulled towards your current location, so if you use flash while they are mid-pull, you can increase your W's effective range. If you do have sufficient vision and know you are not getting flanked, using Thresh's lantern just for its shield to increase your skirmishing power is perfectly viable. Unlike your Q, Thresh's E-skill shot comes out almost immediately, which makes it impossible for your opponents to dodge it on reaction. This means you do not need to land those crazy long-ranged hooks you see in every other Thresh montage to do your job effectively. If you can simply run at your opponents and combo your E into your Q, you can lock them down with almost zero counterplay. As with all of Thresh's abilities, you can not only use your E offensively, but also defensively. When you hit this spell, Thresh will interrupt any of your opponent's movement commands except for unstoppable spells like Malphite's ultimate. But if a Rengar or Leona try to jump at you with their engaged spells, you simply cast E to cancel their jump and push them away. This spell's passive is not too important for support Thresh, but it does give you some nice lane harass. Just remember to press the like button and auto-attack your lane opponents when it's fully charged. Thresh's ultimate is ironically enough your spell with the least playmaking potential. However, that's not too big of an issue if you keep in mind that your basic spells are available almost all the time, while an ultimate ability can only be used scarcely. In your all-in combo, you can cast your R in melee range and then use Thresh's E to push your opponent into it. The best use for the spell though is during teamfights as a zoning device. Your ultimate is yet another tool in your amazing repertoire that allows you to get your opponents away from your high priority damage dealers. Utility is the name of the game when playing Thresh, and you maximize this utility with Guardian, Font of Life, Bone Plating and Unflinching, and Biscuit Delivery and Cosmic Insight secondary. Your shards are Ability Haste and Double Armor. Guardian is simply one of the best runes in the 2 vs 2 lane and still provides high value in mid and late game teamfights. Aftershock would be a more selfish alternative, as unless you go in solo, Guardian does everything Aftershock does, but better. Font of Life is a natural choice, since Thresh can trigger it so easily. Bone Plating and Unflinching make your engages more reliable, as they provide additional protection against burst damage and chain CC respectively. Biscuits and Cosmic Insight are the vanilla choices, boosting your lane phase and increasing your trinket and mythic item uptime. If you want even more playmaking potential, however, either can be replaced by Hex Flash or Perfect Timing. Your core items on Thresh are always Mobility Boots, Locket of the Iron Solari, and Control Wards. Lots of Control Wards. Mobility Boots actually make you so much more threatening, as they enable you to simply run at your opponents while they are zigzagging trying to dodge your Q. Running up for E into hook is uncounterable after all, and with Mobies, forcing out your enemy's flash has never been easier. Obviously, your early game roaming also gets much more effective with these boots, and you can start making plays all over the map with this item. Both Locket's active and its base stats are necessary to protect yourself, as it is very tempting for your opponents to simply focus you down when you engage. Most games will end with this build, as control wards cost money, but if you end up rich, spend your gold on situational tank support items. Now, if you found that video helpful, you can access an entire playlist of educational content like this by clicking the link on your screen right there.